Big Games, one of the biggest studios on Roblox, having two groups with over 10 million members. And they are known for, well, different games with pets, mostly the Pet Simulator series, obviously, while also having two spin-offs, which are Pets Go and the new Steal a Pet. And every pet simulator out of 4 has over 1 billion visits, except for Pet Simulator 2, but we don't talk about that one. And while all of those games with pets are located in a group called Big Games Pets, they also have the original group which has other games they have made. And among those games they got, for example, My Restaurant, the longest living game in that group since it has been updated for about 3 years. Also, it has over 800 million visits. And the other game in that group is Big Paintball, a pretty known shooter made by Big Games. Despite not updating for over 5 years, it still gets over 1,000 concurrent players in it every day. And fun fact, it has only 900,000 less favorites than the biggest game made by Big Games, Pet Simulator X. 51,000 peak concurrent player count may not sound a lot, but for a game people do not AFK 24 hours a day, it really is. And also it has almost 2 billion visits. That is just 300 million less than Pet Simulator 99, shows how big of a game it is. This game was like a fun competitive shooter game with different guns that have different effects and also act differently. Many videos were made about this game back when it was relevant, and the millions of views on the videos do really show the amount of interest and hype the game had. But the video isn't about the original Big Paintball, it's about the sequel. With the success Big Paintball had, I feel like it was only a matter of time until Big Games would make a sequel or a game very similar to it, and it happened. After like 3.5 years since last update in the original game, we started to get first hints and leaks of Big Paintball 2. Sometimes they would open the game and you could join it for a bit to test something, while also meeting developers. Later on, the beta began and it would cost 199 Robux to join the game, and based on this badge, over 100,000 people paid for early access. Kind of crazy. And then on October 13th, 2023, the game would release and everyone could start playing for free. Jumping to the current state of the game, since it has thousands of players still playing it, why is it forgotten? Well, it's not really forgotten by the players, but by developers themselves. When the game released, it actually did well for a shooter game, getting over 10,000 players and even over 20,000 at one point. But pretty quickly, it started to lose players, going down to 4,000 and later even 2,000 players. And the thing is, it only received 2 updates that we can actually see in the developer blog. The first update was Halloween event with a limited time case, and the second update was more like changes to what already existed instead of adding more new content. The game overall was basically a remaster of the original game, which, as you understand, was liked by many. In this game, you can also directly buy the skins, but also get them from cases, which was the only option on release. But the contrabands, which is the best rarity, are still exclusive to the cases and are actually unique guns instead of just being a skin. And one more thing it has is trading, which obviously created a trading community, which isn't exactly active anymore, but it exists in some form. And despite there not being any new updates made, developers didn't fully forget about the game just yet. If we check Big Paintball 2 on the first weeks after release, the server size was 18, but right now it basically halved and became just 10. Why was that change made? Well, Big Games actually made bots for this game, and those aren't the same bots like in Pet Simulator 99 or Bubblegum Simulator Infinity. Those bots are made by bot farmers and use exploits to get as many things as possible to sell on black market. The bots in this game are actually just dummies. When I run around, do you notice something weird about the players? Or let's say, do you think a normal player would behave like this? So basically, Big Games made the server size smaller to add bots. Back in early 2024, there was something called the NPC update, which isn't really an official update since it wasn't promoted anywhere as one, and that's where the bots were added. And later that year, they would improve the bots slowly. Why would they add bots like this? Not entirely sure, but my guess is they wanted to make the game feel easier for the new players. But then, obviously, the question comes up, why if this is a competitive game? And there has been some issues with the bots, obviously. Like, for example, there is a chance you could end up like this, where one team has all the bots while the other doesn't, which obviously gives advantage to the team without bots. And it's an advantage because bots are harmless. You've seen me walk next to 2 bots already, and they did absolutely nothing. So basically, the entire 2024 for this game was sort of just small changes and bot improvements. But that's until big games remembered about this game again and decided to come back with a new update after a whole year and a month since last one. The 2024 Christmas update, which did not receive its own developer blog post, but they did actually announce it, which makes it the 3rd actual update in the game. And on Twitter, one of the big games developers even asked if people want to see monthly updates for this game, meaning there was a chance the game would no longer be forgotten by the developers. And the community was pretty positive about that. And so the weeks passed, and nobody heard anything about Big Paintball 2. And as you understand, till this day, which is 8 months since the 3rd update, there has been no news on it at all. And it really does surprise me, because ever since that update, the amount of players have decently increased, going from about 2,000 to 3,000 players to now 4,000 to 5,000 players. And it is quite a good amount for a game like this. It gets about 600,000 visits daily right now, while Pet Simulator 99 with like 7 times more players gets 1 million visits per day, barely double the amount Big Paintball 2 gets. And remember how I said that this game is not forgotten by the players, but more like by the developers? That is because the game still has a good amount of players, but big games seem to just sort of forget about it, or work on something else instead, mainly Pet Simulator 99. In 2025, there has been almost no changes to the game, latest one being in February if we exclude the game icon changes. And counting from there, that is over 5 months ago, I think it's safe to say that this game is now forgotten and may not be updated again. But at this point, who really knows? They didn't make any updates just to come back a year later for one single update. Even with all the controversy with big games and gambling mechanics in their games, I feel like many enjoyed playing Big Paintballs, both original and the sequel. But it also feels like Big Paintball has this curse where it barely gets any updates and then just stays forgotten. Or I guess this mainly applies to the sequel because of how weirdly it was updated. Why do you think developers just ended up sort of forgetting about Big Paintball 2? Anyway, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I would really appreciate that. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat with me and other members. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.